Alrighty, we are here. This is top cut round one. And of course, as you see, we are playing in, of course, the Beach Bros Posse Tournament. Once again, of course, like I said, it is top cut, of course. But as you see, we have the teams. Of course, they're the same like always. The rules are rules. But I hate the rules though. But we have our teams and everything. So the teams is they have Landorus T, Zamazenta, Iron Crown, Kingambit, Cinderace, and Zapdos. Of course, I have my team on my own. Going Goldingo, the Screamtail of always is my Rob with Pokemon, Roaring Moon, all that. I decided to make I Petron too, but I made the replacement, and instead of Great Tusk, I went Iron Treads, and instead of Swampert, I decided to go with Zamazenta. So the idea is I changed Swampert up, made Roaring Moon the Regenmon, went Sword of Ruin on the Zamazenta. I could have went to that, but I highly doubt they had Ghost types because Ghost types are not very good in the AAA. Rather than that, but we have Goldingo, we have all that stuff. But yeah, so this is round number one. So as you see, we call everybody in the server calls Shoutout for short. They're a relatively new player, but they're a very good player. So don't underestimate them. I shouldn't, but you never know what's going to happen. But let's play our game up. Let's see what we do from there. But as you see, we lead Goldingo, obviously, because I always run either Roaring Moon and all that stuff. I don't run lead Pokemon if they're not fast. Goldingo was Scarf always, so I went that. So they went U-turn to Zapdos, so I was kind of like, I was worried if it was Scarf. Because in playoffs, you don't know what's going to happen. As you see, Petron, I'm always the Intimidate. They go Sub, which I kind of knew this was a bulk up Aerolate set, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. But I went Shadow Ball, Faded, so they kind of realized this is not no normal Petron. We went Earthquake, doing some damage. I went Parting Shot, dropping their attack down. I mean, I could have done that, but I wouldn't care less if I dropped the Sub. Knockoff does that, and I realized this is not Aerolate. This is Fluffy. A really dangerous Landorus. So this is one of those unexpected things because you cannot play within the meta when you have absolutely diabolical sets like this. So what I did was I went Screamtail, I went to Boom Burst because it's going to be crazy damage, and of course got the Landorus down to his thing and knocked it out from the sub. Because in Generation 5 onwards, if you use a sound move, it goes through the sub and it hits the Pokemon rather than Infiltrator. So you have that. It went Cinderace since I was not faster. I went to this and they went U-turn on their own, and they went Iron Crown as I wish. So the super scary thing about Iron Crown is it can be anything. It can be a choice spec set. It can be whatever. It could be Tinted Lens. It could be Psychic Surge, which is not Psychic Surge, so we knew it was Tinted Lens. So I went U-turn on that front. I went to go to Zamazenta on my own. But the idea is, of course, it went Iron Defense. I went Iron Defense. I think most likely that was the problem. I lost the game on the jump because I got Future Sighted to death. And I was not playing carefully. I was like, shoot. I was not playing my best. So, of course, they have that. Of course, they're playing absolutely greedy and got obliterated by Screamtail, which is a Screamtail legacy game after all. So, as you see, we went from that. Of course, Screamtail gets absolutely obliterated by Adaptability Kingambit, knowing the thing. Earthquake doesn't do much. Of course, it's bulky and fat as hell. Kowtow Cleave knocks me out, which is kind of sad, but it's scary. I went to this, and remember what I said in that previous video. Kingambit is a super scary Pokemon, and if you don't have the right things to check it, it can absolutely obliterate you. This is what I meant. Because, of course, Kingambit does that. Of course, I trick it, try to knock it out, and I realize, yeah, I can't win this game because Kingambit is going to absolutely obliterate me. Kingambit walls me with Petrunt, and, of course, Goldingo can't do nothing. So I had to forfeit the first game, and we'll be right there with the second game right there. Look over here. So game number 2, we had this round, and as you see, we got Goldingo, Screamtail, Roaring Moon. Of course, we got the Petrunt. Of course, that same team rule. But I decided to go with a different strategy. Instead of going Goldingo, I went to Screamtail. So they force a U-turn, then I can go for a move to predict. So they went Iron Crown. I went Psychic Noise to predict them going for something else. So And the idea is swap to a Pokemon like Roaring Moon, get a Future Sight off, get a knockoff on whatever mon happens, Earthquake like that to get that. Of course, knockoff to get rid of the item, but it's only there to predict a Future Sight like this. So that was my lesson from game 1. Do not let the Future Sight happen, and do not let Kingambit beat me. That was the main plan. Do not let Kingambit beat me. Because if I did let Kingambit beat me, then that means I automatically lose the game. So I play a little bit more defensively on the turn right there. So as you see, Wish, Protect, boom. Of course, is a defensive mon. Even without the bulk, so they have that. So they went that. They went Lando. So Future Sight's there. Knockoff's there. Stone Edge, unfortunately, does not hit. Earthquake does hit like a truck. And of course, fortunately, I knew my senses. I went to that. And this is why I hate playing against Future Sight teams. It's like a huge game of chicken. So your body press doing 44%. So this is the power of what I had. So Psychic Noise is there. So they were double Psychic. This is kind of like something you get in Draft League. And as you see, my body press doing 15%. And I realized, yes, this is definitely fluffy. So they did that. They went bulk up. They were scared on out like that. So they went to Iron Crown. Of course, they realized they're definitely bulky too. So they're not, I bet you they were AV, most likely. And they were quad resistant to that. So they had Tachyon Cutter, getting that through. And you see, I don't think they were lefties or AV. I kind of didn't realize, but now I realize now. Then I could have just paid attention, but I was kind of like on that ass with Lando. So I had that. I went to U-turn, went to Screamtail, trying to get rid of the Mon. Kingambit's there, and now is their big mistake. I was trying to get rid of the likes of that. They're trying to go for the Psychic Noise, but they get rid of the Kingambit. And that's where they got their game-losing play. Because most of their mons now are going to get completely obliterated by Screamtail, Petulant, most of the mons. That's their main win con, is they want to get Kingambit to sweep my team. That's the main thing they want. So as you see, they do that. I think they go Psychic Noise, but I went to Roaring Moon as they went through that. They Volt Switch. But they realize I cannot play against him in his own game. And he realizes I'm bulky. Roaring Moon. I went to Regen. Boom. And now I'm guaranteed faster if they're low speed. You see, I go for Boom Burst, doing about 15%. So that's 18. So depending on the roll, get that. Unfortunately, I get the thing. And they played really greedy on that Future Sight. Got rid of the crown. Goodbye to the crown. So whatever happens, happens, they say. They go Zapdos. So I decided to test the water. No, I didn't test the water, so I was being a coward. So have that. So boom, boom, and have the Future Sight. Bye-bye. There's that, and a U-turn. So I kind of knew in my mind that, yeah, I'll have to play a rush style type of thing. And play from behind. I always have to play by behind. But yeah, there's a Power Ball doing that. Power Ball like that is going to do some disgusting damage, but Petulant absolutely checks this Pokemon, even with Intimidate. As you see, gets a poison out, and that's going to do a lot of damage. My big mistake was letting the Roaring Moon get a U-turn off while swapping in. That was kind of my big mistake. I was kind of like, oh yeah, I could bulk this out or whatever. Of course, Scrappy on that was going to be something. So they realized, yeah, this is definitely going to be a problem with Zamazenta. But good news is that you're not sort of ruined. I can go to this. I can Boom Burst and everything. And the rest of your team gets absolutely obliterated by the poison. So my idea was, I'm going to protect on everything. I think it was protect, right? Yeah, I was protecting just in case for Toxic Stall. And there you go. So I wish up the damage. Of course, it went Hurricane. Not surprising. So knowing that I got to roll, I cannot risk myself that. And they were in Roost, trying to predict me going for a Boom Burst. And look at that right there. So go roaring. There goes Zamazenta. I knock off their lefties, get rid of their permanent recovery. So as you see, skip the game. And of course, we got Goldingo doing a fuck ton of damage. This is probably a Goldingo legacy game right there. If it wasn't so myself. I think Caterpie was the Swampert game. And of course, this is the Goldingo legacy game right there. Either that or Roaring Moon. I don't think Roaring Moon was useful, but it was definitely the Goldingo legacy game. Like, if they won, it was because of them. But mainly Screamtail was the main mon that was carrying the entire team. Not really that. Screamtail was really carrying the team. Kind of one of those things. I mean, if you give it Pixelate Boom Burst, it's like it gives a whole new appreciation for the Mon. So you see, get rid of the Cinderace, and now they're down to Orlando, and they went down, and this is definitely a Screamtail Legacy game if I seen one myself. But yeah, as you see, this is the second game of the series. We're 1-1. This is a tournament based on the line, and we have one more game to see from there. And as you see, this is game number 3. Go sound off, and as you see, it went to Zamazenta, Kingambit right there, and look at that. So they got Landorus. So I had that. I went Iron Defense. So what happened is I went Body Press, doing barely anything. But as you may have followed the pattern, is with that, with Screamtail, did this, and then followed the pattern. And the thing is, I didn't reveal much on my my Iron Treads. As you see, Earthquake knocked out Goldingo because I was playing really greedy, and I lost my Screamtail. So you see here, you guys see Screamtail. So the problem is, from turn 3 onwards, I lost the game because I let Screamtail go down, and Screamtail was literally carrying my team. As you see from there, of course, Screamtail literally broke the team that they had. And once Screamtail went down, of course, most of the Mons went down, and there was nothing you could really do. Wish support was amazing. Of course, they had Roar. They couldn't do much. They went Body Pressing their own. And as you see, in the next couple turns, as you see, I could not do anything to win the game. Because the whole idea was let the team build together. So let Screamtail hit, let Goldingo hit, and let's see. And of course, Shoutout won, like I said. But the main flaw I had was not leading Screamtail, but I was kind of worried of an Iron Head. They didn't show all their moves, but they had Sucker Punch, Kowtow, Cleave, and Low Kick, if I remember correctly. Or somebody else had Low Kick. Oh, I was saying that. But that, and I was fearing Iron Head for my life, so I couldn't lead that. So I went Zamazenta, predicting the 3rd turn or whatever. But that's kind of how it is. You lose the game because you make a poor mistake, a poor choice. But I mean, House Soda SD called me out. He said I'm ass. So if I'm ass that day, that means I'm ass that day. So yeah, didn't win this tournament unfortunately, but I mean this is a very good learning lesson from there. I should not have been arrogant, and I should pay more attention to the Pokemon in the field and stop trying to fast forward because A, I'm impatient, and B, I have things to do. But yeah, I mean, I'll say that. But if you want to say, oh, I was throwing or whatever, I don't mind you saying that, but at the same time, I really want to win this tournament because this was one of my best meta games, and of course, Luwop was there. We ran the tournament and everything, and this was the first OM since say Petmod and KEP, and also Stabmons that was there. So I'm pretty sad that I lost the game, but I'm just happy I got it through. And I want to say thank y'all so much for this tournament run. There will be more replay cities coming up soon, because I have a lot more content I have to show out. But let's see what we can do from there, baby. We'll be soon. Have fun. Y'all stay safe. Bandito out. And good luck to Shoto in the tournament results. I'll probably tell the results then. So I decided to show this replay out real quick to show you. I mean, yeah, I'm not happy about the thing, but of course, the whole idea is Psalm is a very good player, and so is Sandan. The thing is, I had my dog in my day. I didn't play too well, and of course they had that. But I'll play it on hyper fast real quick to tell you a little bit of summary. So as you see, it was game 3 in the set. Of course, having that through, Psalm was playing really defensively. Normally, he always plays defensively. Of course, Sandan surprisingly he did not listen to kind of thing, but actually he did change a few things on the team rather than changing the whole team. So he went Sheer Force instead of the Psychic Surge because hazards or whatever, and for Spin, having the Crunch, having Cobra Berry. But yeah, he played a great draft mixture. Then of course he realized from my Intimidate Petrant, he learned that it was very good. So that's the whole thing. Sandan played amazingly in the playoffs. So of course flash forward it and everything. So yeah, to spoil it out and everything, Sandan won the tournament. Of course, he was the second 8th seed to win the tournament, besides, well, the only other 8th seed I was there is myself. But, of course, he played against Iger, the winner between me and Shoutout, which was Shoutout, and he beat Shoutout. And, of course, Sam beat the rest of the other side of the bracket, brought in the finals, brought to game 3, and Sandan won the tournament. This is basically Sandan's very first win and a very good win. So, kind of wanted to bring the resolve. Of course, this is Replay City after all. I can bring in replays whatever I want, but I want to say, good games to Sandan. Great job for adapting, using some of my sets to beat out some of the opponents. But yeah, I want to say stay safe, y'all. Y'all stay fresh. You have a nice one, and stay safe.